Hey guys, this is Elias from RevMatch Media, and welcome to the next episode of Project Miata The Answer. So today we're going to tackle some maintenance. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to tackle is an oil change, which is actually the first oil change we're doing on the Miata. So excited about that. Get some nice fresh fluids in it. Always good to do some maintenance stuff before we start having too much fun in it. We're actually going to first start out with the engine flush. So this guy, apparently we have to put it in, run the engine for about 10 minutes, and then drain your oil. You don't want to run your car too much as far as like driving it. So we're only going to we're going to have it outside of the garage for obvious reasons of, fumes and stuff like that. So we'll have it outside, then put this in, run it for 10 minutes, pull it in, and start doing oil change. We have our oil filter. Yes, we're using genuine parts for Mazda, so it is an OEM filter. And then we're also going to be adding the oil, motor oil saver. So we'll do a little bit of the oil, a little bit of this. Now, the reason why we went with this one, which has a dye in it, to see if, you have an oil leak. Because, well, we know we have an oil leak, we just don't know where. So hopefully this will kind of pinpoint and help us find where that oil leak is. So, let's get started. Oh yeah, I have other fluids that we'll probably do on another day. Let's get started. Now, because my guy is leaking, I know for a fact I don't have the full capacity of oil in it. So I don't feel, a need of making sure I don't overfill the engine because, like I said, I'm probably down to about a quart right now. So we're going to go ahead and put this guy in without worrying of overflowing things in here or running too much fluid in it. So just probably as a caution, make sure you drain a little bit, or just make sure you're not up to full capacity. So let's get this guy in there. So now we run it for 10 minutes. Let's see how that goes. Well, looks like we're pretty much done, so time to get that guy in. Now remember guys, safety first. It's gonna take you a couple of minutes, a couple of bucks. It's worth your life, it really is. So have those, have another one to put on the other side, have some stands, have my jack. Best way of taking out your oil filter is through the wheel. So putting the wheel under, just anything. Be safe guys, very, very important. Things can fail. Final destination is all I gotta say. Just do everything you can to protect yourself. So let's go ahead and get this guy up. Now, I know I just spoke about safety, and yes, you see me using what I call Widowmaker, but that's because my Husky low profile jack isn't low enough to catch the frame in the front to lift it up. So I do have to use it a little bit as a guide just to really get it a little bit higher. Again, I'm not using that as my main source of getting this jacked up. So again, just really quick, got it on the subframe, and I have my stands and good to go. I actually went ahead and I bought an oil extractor. Yeah, we're still gonna take the bolt out because we do have this, a magnetic one. So we still have to take it out, but right now the oil is hot, so definitely want to minimize as much as I can to touching it or running the risk of touching it. So we are going to use the extractor so we can go ahead and do that. So here we go. We have the really thin tube going all the way down to the oil pan, which you can feel once you kind of hit that point. And then we have the adapter. So let's go ahead and get this guy pumping and see what we got. I'm already feeling some resistance. And the stuff is coming out. Okay, so we took off the wheel. We are under, and there is our lucky bolt we are going to remove and replace. And it is a 3/4. So that's what you could use. Take that off. And yeah, like I said, hopefully we don't have too much to deal with when we take this out. And this was about the point where my GoPro decided to fail on me and not record any video, only audio, and literally just stayed at this still. So yeah, it's literally just a matter of taking that plug out where the arrow is pointing and you're good to go, letting it drain. Definitely going to want to take out that wheel because it's going to be easier to reach it because it's actually pretty dead center in the Miata. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So we've let it go ahead and drain out the majority of it, so we'll just go ahead and clean up. There is a lot of oil back here. I'm starting to think hopefully it is not a rear main seal, but yeah, there's just so much gunk here. Let me clean that, and we are going to put our new screw. So we'll carefully put that on. Make sure we don't cross thread anything. The other thing as well is this thing doesn't have to be incredibly tight like it was before. So we are gonna tighten it up. Not to superhuman strength because again, we don't need superhuman strength. We have here, I'd say very little remnants, so that's pretty good. Now let's tackle what's gonna be a lot of fun, which is that guy right there. That white thing right there is our oil filter. Hopefully we can catch it and not spill too much. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna try to take it out and not film because it's probably gonna be more of a headache. But yeah, that's what we need to get out right now. Okay, so this was definitely an ordeal. That is my oil filter that I had to basically destroy because the person before me decided, hey, let's go ahead and tighten this to hell. But yeah, so we're gonna replace whatever the Protect is with the OEM, which we already did. It's in there. Yeah, you can't see it, but it's somewhere in there. But it's tight, not like overly tight like it was before. So now it's just a matter of dropping this guy and filling her up. Now that the car is level, we're gonna go ahead and fill it up with some oil. First, I'm gonna start with just adding about a quart of the Liqui Moly, and it's just kind of weird seeing it come out green and going into the engine itself because it looks like antifreeze. So we're gonna put just about a quart, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the motor saver and put that in next, just to kind of, you know, give it a little bit of a blend, and then just top it off completely with the rest of the motor oil till the dipstick reads correctly. So last night wasn't that fun. Yeah, second day of changing my oil, but I did start pretty much at night. The oil filter was torqued to hell or something, had Loctite. It sure as hell felt like it. I could not get it off. I had to buy one of these. Yeah, I went to, thankfully my AutoZone was still open, grabbed one of these, saw the teeth on this thing, and I was like, yeah, that's that's what I need to dig into the filter. And let's just say the filter, yeah, it's got some marks on it. It wasn't an OEM filter. I've never heard of the brand too. It was like Pro something, I don't know. But yeah, we got that changed. We filled it up with oil, ran it, and day and night. It's crazy how much an oil change can change literally the characteristics or how an engine really runs. It revs so much smoother. it revs so much higher and so much happier. So definitely excited for that. Today we are going to, for second day of my oil change, we're gonna go ahead. Actually, we got a new dipstick as well because ours was broken. We didn't have the little ring. Get those, they're super cheap. I was looking at a metal one, but then I thought if the engine's hot, I go to pull that out, that's gonna be hot. So I don't know if that's the case, but I just went with another plastic one, at least the little handle. And we're gonna do some spark plugs. And yeah, should be, cross my fingers, should be easy to do. To start, you're going to need a 10 millimeter to take off some of the screws that are holding down the spark plug wires. Yes, so go searching for your trusty 10 millimeter. Be sure that when you take these screws out that you're very careful because they're a little bit on the long side, and obviously when you take them out, you don't want them to fall into the engine bay and then essentially lose them. So I just loosened them up, and I was just very careful with taking them out by hand because of the fact that when you take out the wires, you're having to take out a little bit of pressure with them. Okay, so to take the spark plugs out, it did have two 10 millimeter bolts there, and yeah, they go there. Now, obviously this being a 4-cylinder, we have 4. Now, my car for some reason has a strut bar. This should not, because it's a base model. It is, I believe, only on the LS with certain, which is the next trim up, which with some certain suspension things. So this was kind of a little tough to get out if you didn't know the trick. So the trick is, go ahead and unscrew this one, pull the third one from the front to the back, pull the third one, and then that allows you to spin this guy from that position, which obviously can't go up because it's hitting. Spin it this way and then pull it out. So that way you don't have to deal with getting those bolts out to take off the strut brace. So yeah, that's kind of the little trick I saw right now. I'm sure this is probably known in the Miata world, but I'm new to the Miata world. So if you're new, welcome. It's a lot of fun. Then the next step is to simply unscrew the spark plugs out of the engine, and this is going to take a while. Yeah, these things are really threaded a long way down. So just continue unscrewing. It's going to be a while. And just when you think you're done and you look and check, you have to unscrew a little bit more. So the best thing to do is have one of those sockets that have those little rubber attachments to them on the inside so that it can grab and hug the spark plug when you go ahead and take it out. Well, there you have it. You can't really tell, but spark plugs are changed. They're in there. So a couple of things. For these little screws you have here, you're going to need a 10 millimeter. So make sure you go find one if you lost yours already. So you need that. And then for the spark plugs themselves, 5/8. 5/8 is going to be your guy. And I have the special part spark plug one that has obviously the little washer, the little rubber thing in there to grab it. You're gonna need it. These things are really long to kind of screw out, and yeah, they're kind of a pain. So let's take a look at what we had, and it's not too bad. So starting from the front of the engine, this is the first one. Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing that's like too alarming. It's not soaked in oil. It's a little dirty, but you know, just probably from normal stuff, debris that kind of gets in there. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Same with this. So again, nothing alarming like, whoa, this thing is soaked in oil. No fuel smell either, so that's a good sign as well, making sure that everything gets burned. This one may be a little bit on the dirtier side, the third one. So yeah. Same thing with maybe a little bit of that fourth one, but overall I don't see, like I said, anything that's like super alarming. So there you have it, guys. I'm just gonna check the oil, make sure if I need to top off a little bit more based on, you know, that other additive that I had in there. And again, just want to make sure we're at a nice level, not too much, not too low. But yeah, pro tip of the oil change, grab one of those oil filter things. Yeah. Engineer that put the oil filter back there. And again, this is a reused engine from the Mazda 323. So yeah, some things are kind of inevitable, but the whole thing of that thing being screwed on to hell, yeah, whoever you are, you suck. Yeah. Well, guys, stay tuned for more.